get YouTube to speak to YouTube. Zoom and YouTube have to communicate, and then we will get started. Can't believe it's Wednesday already. It just feels like Friday just happened. All right, there we go. Let's get our redirect link. Let's post this here. Let's post this here. Brian, good morning to you. Man, you are fast. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Otherwise, it's not going to be as fun. All right. By the way, Brian, I'm glad you're here. I will be asking you to make a couple of tools for us after today's class that we're going to have at 2 p.m. We got Dave in the house. We got Jody. If and when you have time, it's nothing emergency or Eagle. We got Eagle Beagle. We got Adam in the house. We got Dave. We got Infinitely. We got Robert, Omar, Duzzy, Wakas, Wayne, Robert, Terrence, Roberto, Ivano, Raj, good morning. CJ, Carly, Dr. Serena, good morning. Cam is here. Wade is here. Cam even comes here on during his holidays. Look at that. I love that. Thank you for being here, Cam. Wade is here. Ray is here. Helicopter Gal. Penny, how are you? Daniel, thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. I will. I just want to do the class first so it's pretty clear what I need. Richard, good morning. Jim, good morning. What a great day in the country. I like that. I'll go with that. We got, I was about to say we have 88 people. I'll wait till we have 100. And as soon as I started saying it, it went up to 111. Deacon, Kirk, Gaston, good morning. Gaston, I hope that email answered the question. Hey, folks, Gaston asked a really good question yesterday, so I'll answer it. He said, hey, like, what's the difference between the pre-market must-watch, the VIP room, and the trading pit? So let me just explain it for you guys really, really easy before we start. I'll try to make it really, really simple. Good morning, Steve. He had a girl. See, you guys know before I do. I didn't know he had one already. Good morning. Not a good morning. What's wrong, Rochelle? Good morning. I better reach out to Graham. We were talking yesterday. I sent him a picture of my daughter, and I said, "This is what you're going to get 20 years from now." I better congratulate him. I didn't know it already. Let me look at the. Oh, there we go. He did. I got to look at his. I got to look at his channel. There we go. There he is. See, you guys know all the goodies before I do. Oh, that makes me really happy. I love Graham. Graham's been working for me ever since he was a kid, and I'm very happy for him. So let me really quickly, before we begin, let me explain to you guys the difference between the trading pit. By the way, here is the link to the trading pit, to the VIP room. So her name is Harper. Oh, she is beautiful. Well, the parents are beautiful, so the kid's going to be beautiful. Send a pic. All right, I'll take a look at your pic, Rochelle. The pic is right here of the girl, of Graham's girl right here. There we go. Look, that is adorable. That is so cute, right? Adorable, adorable, adorable. Another girl in our pub family. She looks like she wants to take a nap, doesn't she? I didn't even know about this. These things are all happening too fast. Yep, another daddy's little girl. Exactly. All right, now listen, folks. So here's the difference between the morning, and I thought it was pretty self-explanatory, but I'll try to explain. The morning must-watch gets you ready for the day ahead, and I also tell you what to look for in the day ahead, and I give you stocks to look for the day ahead. The VIP room is a midday update on what's happening with the markets and what stocks are moving midday. The trading pit is where I give you the red meat and tell you, buy this, sell that, buy this, sell that. So the pre-morning show and the VIP room is a prep that I do so that I can have my stock lists for the pit. It's basically my prep for the pit. I hope that makes sense. She is beautiful. She is beautiful. I better give him a call and congratulate him after he wakes up. All right. Let's get into all the good stuff. Too much excitement. So first off, VIP room is happening at noon today. Thank you, Cam. I appreciate that. Also, remember, today's the big day. At 2 p.m., I'm embarking on my journey. We're going to have the class that's happening today, 2-day class. Let me just go ahead and repost that here. Oops. Here's the link for that in case you guys want to join. There's still time to join. I spent 3 days preparing the first time I wrote a deck. The first time I wrote a deck in 7 years. I was so impressed by you guys doing this. It's happening at 2 p.m. today. And don't forget, Cam White. Good morning, Flying Ronan is in the house. I love that. Rick is in the house. All right. So here's the deal. 2 p.m. today, you could still sign up. It's going to be very, 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 very cool. I did the deck myself. I'm planning on giving you guys like a lot of value. All right. So now let's talk about the market. So as you guys can see here, the market is customer service live from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day when Cam is not on vacation. He will help you with everything relating to customer service. Cam White, customer service. So from 10 to 2, I've only been hearing the best feedback. So let's make sure we give every Cam a big clap, a virtual clap. Infinitely, we will try to help. Exited, going to turn out better for me. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Brian. So don't say I didn't warn you that the market was starting to sag a little bit. I did warn you. I warned you last week. I warned you about the sectors. I told you that momentum levels are not as great. I told you that markets are getting a little choppier. Good. Back today. Cam is back today, folks. Vacation is over. All right. But I warned you. I warned you that markets are getting a little softer. Does that mean that I believe the markets are going to fizzle out and come off? Well, I'll give you my key levels today. And you guys can see for yourself. As far as Fed data, we have John Williams speaking. He tends to be neutral. We have the manufacturing index that's happening at 10 a.m. We don't trade before 10 a.m. We always wait patiently till 10 a.m. Tomorrow, we've got a couple of big reports, not the jobless claim. This is useless. But we've got GDP and international trades and goods and services. And we've got the petroleum status report. The petroleum status report will be very important. Hey, Zoe, I never see you here. Good morning. Kirk, hello there. So again, we have these reports we have to pay attention to. And Friday, we have we have the personal income report, which is going to be very important for the Fed and the Chicago PMI. I think we're going to see a lot of volatility. I don't think the market is ready for too much directional bias just yet. I warned you earlier this week that I expected volatility to start rising. Do you guys remember that? I also told you this end of last week that volatilities mean reverting, and I'm expecting the volatility to keep rising. You need to keep an eye on volatility today. If you start seeing, now, a lot of times when the markets pull back like this, now here's where you get dividend payments for being here this morning. A lot of times when markets are opening like this, what we want to look at is stocks that are making intraday highs because those stocks are going against the trend. So we get a really good pullback here with stocks potentially going higher, okay? So we got to be very, very careful, but we could be using these as opportunities, especially if after the market opens and you keep an eye on volatility and you start seeing volatility coming down and filling this gap. I'll give you this level, okay? This level is 1372. And if you see volatility below 1372, that means the market's trying to rally today. And if the market's trying to rally today, there's a really good chance we may be able to catch a bid. Do you see what I'm doing, Gaston? I'm preparing you for the day ahead. I thought this was pretty self-explanatory, but if you want me to label it for you, I'll label it for you. So I'm explaining to you that if volatility moves below 1372, that I believe the market is going to start rallying. Do I think that's going to happen? I have no idea, and I don't really care. I have plenty of opportunities to the downside and to the upside. I'm a very happy camper when the market's neutral because I've got more shorts than longs. I've got twice as many opportunities to trade. You don't need to be a scalper. Yeah, you don't need to do it infinitely. Just follow what we do here. You don't need to be a scalper. We do a lot of swing trades and a lot of overnight trades and a lot of trades where we're looking for 75, 50 cents, 75 cents, a dollar. Yesterday, AMD. Who caught the AMD move yesterday? Did you guys catch the AMD? Hey, Modi, why are you in the hospital? Why are people in the hospital? I want to know. In this beautiful summer day. I'm not happy about this. It's the only way, infinitely. You guys catch the AMD trade yesterday? Let me know. Let me know if you caught the AMD trade, and let me know if you caught the swing trade we did on what was that short we did in the pit that we just closed? What was it? Oh, I can't even remember it anymore. What was it? I got to look at my own things to remember what our trades were. Yeah, told you to close AMD. What was it? UPS, UPS, UPS. Yeah, infinitely. You gotta stick with Uncle Roger. Baidu. How about Carvana on the way to the downside? Huh? We've been hitting it pretty hard. Good. I like that. I like that. I like that, Carlos. That's very nice. Very, very nice. Very, very, very nice. Let me just put this here. 1 second. 1 second. Gotta post this for my guys here. Okay. Yeah, UPS, Carvana, UPS, AMD. How many more do you want me to list? Cam, we've been busy here taking profits in the pit while you've been gone. Anyway, so I'm looking for volatility to trade below 1373. All right. If it trades below 1373 and starts filling in this gap, we will see some upside on the market. Good. You're welcome, Jack. You're welcome. Crude oil. I talked about crude oil. Remember value area here? We talked about testing this level and coming back up. I like what I'm seeing. The next level up on crude oil, and I'm looking at the actual futures, is the $83 level. Infinitely, trust me, we can help you. What that class today we're having is really helpful for futures trader, believe it or not. And I'll get into that a little more today at 2 p.m. If you guys haven't signed up yet, there's still time to sign up. It's the best $500 you will spend. I spend literally 22 hours preparing for the slide deck this weekend. All right. Good for you, Richard. Good for you. Oh, I'm sorry, infinitely. All right. So more upside for crude oil. More upside for crude oil. Gold. Gold is bouncing off the support level here. As I mentioned before, I believe that gold and crude oil are going to have another rally in them. The fact that this low here is not taking out this low is telling me that there's more upside here. I would be too cautious, and I wouldn't be that cautious, and I would wait for a little more upside. I think there's going to be a really good chance that gold will pull up. And also, if the economy continues building how it's building, if the economy keeps continuing how it's doing, there's going to be a really good need for gold to rally. Penny says, per your share on Telegram about hedge fund selling, I read the past week or so Warren Buffett was in the mostly. Yes, him and I posted that last week, a Penny, that him and Bill Gates are mostly in cash. That was actually something else I posted. That was actually something else I posted about a week ago. He is mostly in cash. He is mostly in cash. All right, 1 second. All right, here we go. But yeah, he's mostly in cash. Very, very much in cash. So gold, I think we'll start seeing some more upside. I think crude oil will see more upside, especially if the market sags. You are going to keep your eye on volatility, because if volatility cools off and comes down today to the 1370 level, there's a good chance we'll see a rally. Let's talk about the unpleasantries here. So I want to talk a little bit about this, and I want to spend some time on this because a lot of folks, it'll all be recorded, David. It'll all be recorded. So a lot of folks, I tell folks, hey, there's a breakout, there's a breakdown. Well, Roger, the markets are really efficient. The markets price in everything ahead of time. We can't predict what the market's happening by looking at news and things like that. They're too efficient for that. You know what I'm going to say to that? Let me ask you guys, do you remember when I drew this triangle? And do you guys remember my whole speech about this right here, this little thing right here that I keep remembering? I kept talking and talking and said that there's a time clock. And as soon as this goes from 27% to 10, the bond market is going to break down. Do you guys remember this discussion? We had a long discussion of this about a week ago, about a week and a half ago, about 2 weeks ago. Do you remember that? And it's happening right now like clockwork. Well, my question to you is, didn't I say to you it's going to happen? There's very little doubt that it's going to happen. I wasn't talking about maybe it'll happen. I was saying it's going to happen, right? Well, if a schmuck like me can predict the bond market going down, and the bond market is 1,000 times bigger than the stock market, if a schmo like me, without having any access to advanced algorithmic tools or anything like that, just using the same tools as you, if I could figure that out a couple of weeks in advance, how efficient do you think the market is? How efficient do you think the market really is? And I wasn't doing it based on technicals. I was doing it based on fundamentals. I did. I sat here and I gave you a speech about how I talked about this timeline here and how this was at 27%. And I said it's foolish. And I said the kid only has till July 31st. There's now a time clock on this. You could look at my videos. I mean, we were very clear on it. We were clear as day on it. 1,000 times bigger than the market, yes. Almost every session I mentioned it. My point is, if we can make a prediction like that a few weeks ahead on the bond market, then the markets are not nearly as efficient as you guys think. It's not because I'm so smart. It's because the markets are not nearly as efficient as you guys give them credit to be. All right. There you go, Walter. Yes, that's what I thought too, but I guess I had to give a diagram to anyway, I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. Some of the trades from yesterday morning went in the opposite direction. Why does this happen? Because that's how it happens. A lot of times they go in the opposite direction, but then eventually they come back. Remember what I always tell you, when you're trading in the direction of a trend, even with earnings, they tend to huff and puff against the main trend for a few days, and then they revert back in the direction of the main trend. Like right here, here's the main trend. It huffs and puffs, and then it reverts back in the direction of the main trend. The trend is your best friend. Infinitely, we're not really scalping as much as you think. I haven't had a trade with less than 50-cent gainer in probably 3 months in there. Yeah, we're not like going for nickels and dimes. We're going 50 cents, 75 cents, a dollar, sometimes $2. So just FYI, we're not scalping as much as you think we are. For example, just to give you an idea, look, in at 138.37, out at 137.75, and then it dropped another $2 after that, or $1.50 or $2 after that. So, and then AMD, same thing. It went up another $2 afterwards. So we're not really scalping all that much. I mean, folks are scalping with options. Today's the day, VWAP. So my point in spending all this time with you is explaining to you that the markets are not nearly as efficient as you guys may think they are. They're not. They're not. And stocks, 50 to 75% of all stocks are randomly trading. Good morning, Rebecca. So bond market, more downside. So if you see more downside in the bond market, that means the odds for the kid getting his bike are decreased. All right, let's not talk about the stock market. And by the way, the market is down right now. The Dow's down about 200 points. The NASDAQ is down. Let's see how that Baidu's doing. Should have held it. You're right, Brian. I should have held it overnight. Oh, yeah. Whew. If you guys held Baidu, you'd be better off than me. See, so I don't always get the best fills, Brian. Cam says he's so bald he can't scalp anymore. I love that. So this is a trade I gave in weekly cash flow. So you can, if you didn't get out yesterday for your 20% or 20% of the premium we took in, you can get out now. By the way, I've changed how I trade in the weekly cash flow. And if you guys have been noticing that, don't worry, Infinitely, I got you covered. if you guys noticed how I've been trading differently in the weekly cash flow, let me know. All right, let me know because I've been trading very differently in the last couple of weeks there, and I think people have been paying attention and noticing the difference. All right, so let's talk about the stock market, what we can expect, and we'll go from there. Too bold to be too bold. I can't scalp anymore. Yeah, same pattern, Terrence. You're absolutely right right here. It's exactly the same pattern, like right here and right here, exactly. All right, let's talk about the market, okay? And I blew this up a little bit to 150 size. Hopefully, it's big enough for you guys to see. U.S. Treasury yield continues to rise following weak debt auction, resilient consumer confidence data, and hawkish comment from federal official who investors brace for key inflation later in the week. Boy, they're really starting to talk bearish now. Nvidia climbed 7% as Tesla is going to start incorporating some of their chips into their car. I think that's very brilliant. This is why it's very hard to trade Tesla. You just don't know what he's going to say. Moderna plunged by 8%, top loser on the S&P. I try to stay away from Moderna. I don't try to trade it too much. I don't have a good feel for that stock. But they were talking about Director offloaded 2.3 million worth of common stocks last Wednesday, and Zscaler also slid. Zscaler was a stock on our bearish list for many, many months. Many, many, many months. You guys are funny. You guys are too funny. You guys crack me up. Eagle JT infinitely. You guys crack me up. Yeah, less risk, but we still enjoy the upside. All right. What did Kashkari tell the kid yesterday that really pissed that kid off? He said, and I don't watch CNBC. I just read this, and I have a news feed on with Matt. I don't really. Yeah, Heather, we discussed that this morning. We talked about that this morning. Actually, I'm going to talk about it in about 30 seconds. We're going to get to that right here. Right here. But just to show you how active I am on things like that. Just to show you, look what I sent Matt this morning. At 7:55. Matt, Graham, all could be opportunity. Share repurchase makes good catalyst. I think it's interesting time for MRO to be bought during these times. Folks, I have you. I've got your back. I promise you, I have your back. Whatever you could think of, I will be on top of it if it's important. So Kashkari said, many, many more months of positive inflation data, I think, to give me confidence that it's appropriate to dial back. Is he telling the kid he's getting that bike? He told CNBC the Fed might even consider raising rates. Oh, can you imagine the insult to injury if inflation does not increase further? I don't think anybody has totally taken rate increase off the table. Has he and Powell had this conversation? I think the odds of us raising rates are quite low, and I agree with him. I think they're just going to keep for longer time. But I don't want to be anything off the table. All right, if you feel that way about it, Kashkari, love it, Gustavo. Thank you so much, Gustavo. I appreciate the support. And as you guys could see, 0% chance of a rate hike in this month, or excuse me, next month. Next month, yeah, we got 2 days to go. And only 10% in July. And as you guys know, I believe this number is going to go to zero within the next 2-3 weeks as the bond market assimilates that. And if for this to be zero, the bond market has to be lower. So we don't have much time. And I do believe the bond market's going to go lower because I believe, and I'm giving you a very specific reason why, because this shouldn't be at 27%. This shouldn't be at 15%. It shouldn't be at 17%. This needs to be at 0% because that's what the odds of rates going down in July. By the way, when I did a survey in January and February in the VIP room, and I asked you guys how many of you think rates are going to go down in March and May, 50% of you said yes. I'm just, not to rub it in, but just FYI. Infinitely, you got to give up what you're doing. You're a warrior trader. That stuff doesn't. It works for the guy placing the trade, but not for most people following it. You gotta get on with Uncle Roger's pit, where you got plenty of time to place the trade, where you don't have to watch it like a hawk, where you can just chill a little bit. Let me watch the market for you. God knows I'm pretty good at it. I've got 8 monitors. Core personal consumption expenditures. This is going to be released Friday. That's a big report. By the way, a lot of folks were talking about the markets being very low liquidity, option spreads being wide. I believe by the second half of today, by about 2 p.m. today, volume should start. Yeah, it does work, but it's very hard. Yeah. Yeah, 20 year and 30 year would do the same thing. Anything over 10 years has the same yield. Good morning, Adlin. Good morning, Stroke it to me. We even have a guy whose name is Roger's Critic. Have you guys seen him? There's a guy, his name is Roger's Critic. He goes to our website. He comes on to these things. It's pretty funny. So again, I think volume will start coming in today. And I think before the GDP or into tomorrow's session, volume will be back. I think most people are done playing hooky already. Exactly, Eagle Beagle. I love that Eagle Beagle. I love it, Adam. I love it, Eagle Beagle. All right, so we do have some reports, and I'm expecting more volume coming into the session today. On the earnings front, retail. Salesforce, that's retail. It's not tech, it's retail, because you need Salesforce for retail. Dick's, Chewy, HP. Public storage is not retail, but CRM and Dick's and Chewy, those are retail. We're going to have to talk, about retail in the VIP room later today. You got the U.S. Richmond Manufacturing Index later in the day. I believe that's happening right at 10 a.m. We are not going to be trading today before 10 a.m. For obvious reasons. We never do. We got the Beige Book. The Beige Book comes out at 2 p.m. The Beige Book is actually pretty important. And I think by this time, we will have the market volume will start increasing a little bit. You will start seeing more stocks you will see tighter spreads and more follow through in the options. I'm just hoping it's not to the downside. You got Bostic and Williams speaking. Be careful. Williams can be pretty hawkish. Okay. Europe is down 0.69 as bond yields globally weighted on risk mood. Investors are waiting the release of key inflation data from us. Travel stocks underperformed here as well. Energy stocks gained ground here as well. Survey released Wednesday indicated the German consumer sentiment improved for the fourth straight month. I'm very happy about that. If you guys are interested in purchasing real estate in Europe, I would highly recommend you start looking for real estate in Germany. I think real estate in Germany is going to be picking up in the near term. You can also buy fraction shares of German real estate, but I think that market is going to expand. You're right, Cam. It is pretty boring. They came out with that name in the early 70s, and early 70s things were pretty, depending on who you ask. China closed marginally higher, giving us a little tailwind. They've got a lot of real estate problems there. Weighted new property measures aimed at reviving the sector alongside the IMF's update forecast. Gains in auto and metal stocks led the overall market higher. Metal stocks, keep an eye on metal stocks here too, like Alcoa, copper stocks, FCX, keep an eye on those. IMF stated on Wednesday that it now expects China domestic product growth at 5%, up from its earlier forecast of 4.6. That's pretty good. I mean, I'll take that. Japan, I get. I'm going to say I hate to say I told you so, but I've been telling you this nonstop. Erased early gains to close lower as the 10-year government bond yield hit a 12-year high, which doesn't really say much. Their rates have been going down for 30 years. Electronics and machinery stocks led the decline on Wednesday. Cabinet officials reported Wednesday that consumer confidence index fell in Japan to a 6-month low. They got to get the bonds up. Japan's 10-year bond yield reached a level not seen in 12 years, almost a year and a half ago, I told you that, driven by increased speculation that policy tightening by Bank of Japan is imminent. I told you that February or March a year ago. That's when we had that session. All right. I already talked about First Solar. They've been downgraded. I like First Solar. I'm going to be looking for this as opportunities to go long First Solar after uh, after it cools off. And I already mentioned that we may see some upside in energy stocks today as a result of Marathon Corporation. Usually, when you have takeovers in energy companies, when valuations are so high, it means that they're expecting prices to go higher. They don't buy other energy companies when they're expecting the price to go down. Notice JP Morgan, what did Jamie Dimon say? I'm not going to be buying stock at these prices. Basically, he said our stock is above fair value, which is why JP Morgan's been struggling. I think he's foolish for saying that, but at least he's honest. But usually you don't take a company, you don't buy a company, you don't see buyouts in these valuations unless they think it's going to go higher. Do you know what time and access members will be emailed the bootcamp Zoom link? I have no idea, Penny. I have no idea. Oh, you asked Cam. That's a person to ask. Robinhood. Robinhood. I almost forgot. Robinhood gained 3%. They announced a buyback, a repurchase program. Folks, stock repurchase programs are big, big catalysts. Big, big catalysts. Does it mean it's going to go up without a question of a doubt, guaranteed? Of course not. But remember, Apple stock repurchases are very, very big catalysts. I'll take a look at it. If you can post the link here, Carlos, that would be great. He's got big ones saying that about his own company. But anyhow, I'm very curious to see how energies are going to play out today, especially in light of the fact that crude oil is looking really good and it's already breaking out of this consolidation. This is really good for energies. And I am gonna start watching Robinhood, and it has been on my radar lately. Yeah, he does have balls saying that about his own company, right? He does. I think that's odd, but hey, you know. So keep your eye on the gold market, especially if we start seeing a little downside in stocks. What about stocks? What about levels? Well, I showed you this yesterday. Let's look real time. Let's we ended the session here yesterday. Look at where we're at right now. We're literally right now overnight at the 38,500 level. If we break this level, if we break this level and go further down, we are gonna be flirting with 38,000. I don't think we're gonna break this level. I think we're gonna sit right here, consolidate, and start coming up. And I think we're gonna be broken in within this level for a while. I think this is too much too fast. So this is one of the reasons why I believe there's a good chance that volatility could come down today. And if we start trading below the 1372, there's a good chance the stock market will rally. But we need to see that first. All right. We need to see that first. I don't see a real reason for the market to be down 200 points yesterday, 200 points today, especially in the morning. It's too much too fast. So I think we're going to create a pivot here and start coming around here. If we do break the low, the next level is 35,550. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate that. S&P 500. What about the SPY? How does the SPY fit into all of this? The SPY is right here right now. Remember, we couldn't get it above this level. Notice we're starting to look at this level. The next level for the SPY is 524.65. If we break that level, the next level is right here. I've been keeping this on a burner for you because I knew it was just a matter of time till we would start looking at this back. So right here, the next level is 522, but we need to first penetrate 525. If we penetrate 525, we're going to go to 522. But I want to see if we create a base here and continue staying around. I think it's too early before Fed data. I think later in the week, there's a higher chance we will go down. I don't think the market's going to become this volatile heading into the GDP. All right. I think that I would be careful. Keep your eye on volatility. Volatility is going to be your savior today, and the bond market. If you see the bond market, if you see TLT, keep your eye on TLT. If you see TLT breaking this level and going down, that's bad. If you see TLT coming back up, that's really, really good. If you see volatility, whoops, what happened to my volatility? Let me just go back here. There. If you see volatility, same thing with volatility, just the opposite. If you see volatility intraday, if you see it coming down and breaking lower, that means markets will rally. If you see volatility staying up here and not coming down to here, not great for the market. So we're going to have a two-sided market today. What about momentum levels? I don't want to look at levels yet for the QQQ because the QQQ is still having its fun in the sun. See that? We don't really have a major level yet till we hit 440, 450. So I think we're just going to hover around here for the Dow, kind of hover around here. And for the SPY, basically what I'm saying is we might have bottomed out already, unless there's a major catalyst. And for the SPY, hang around here. All right, what about key momentum levels? Let's talk about key momentum levels. 90-day highs, 90-day lows. Let's see if there's anything that's crazy over there. Always want to look at our 90-day lows, 90-day highs. 90-day highs, 119 stocks. Absolutely nothing crazy going on. Not yet, Atlan. I'm looking for it. Right here, 119 to the upside, 124 to the downside. What is this telling me? It's telling me we have a nice, calm, two-sided market without any side really being. I'm looking at VIX intraday. I'm looking at both. I'm looking at VIX intraday and I'm looking at VIX throughout the day. So intraday, I'm looking for it to go lower, and throughout the day, I'm looking for it to go lower. I'm looking for VIX not to go above 1447 and hopefully come back down to the 12 level. Stock it to me. So I'm looking at intraday and daily. I gave you both levels, okay? All right. So is there anything going on? Are momentum levels getting out of whack? Not at all. Not at all. They're perfectly calm, perfectly peaceful, telling us the markets can really move from here. Well, what about sectors? How are sectors doing in light of this? Let's see. What is going on here? Okay. Speculative, 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 speculative. Look at how they're next to each other. Notice the markets have been balanced. Look, speculative, speculative, and look at communication services. Look at it a week ago. Here, let me go back 1 week ago. Look at where communication was. Look at where consumer discretionary was. Now look at it today. Now, consumer discretionary is all the way up here. Communications here, technology. If communication services gets up here, we're literally and well, Bitcoin is on its own. We're going to have a fairly balanced market. Look at this. Mid cap and Russell 2000, they're not that away from each other. Look, consumer staples is next to basic materials. Retail is next to S&P. This is medium speculation. This should be right here. And so is consumer discretionary. If you were to take utilities out of here, we have a pretty good balance. Do you see the difference, guys? Do you guys see how when markets lose the momentum, when these numbers are not in the 300,000, in the 300s, and this is in 6, when they're balanced market, you see how more balanced this becomes? Sometimes this would go a year not being out of balance, 2 years without being out of balance. So when I tell you there's a specific rhythm to this, there's a specific rhythm to this. So like right now, semiconductors, QQQ, technology, communication, consumer discretionary is the only thing belongs up here, and retail is already up here. Tech is leading, blue chips are lagging, and speculative is a little bit in the middle, but that's okay. I'm not going to nitpick. They're not that far away from each other. That means the market can really move from here, up or down. So remember that, okay? All right, we talked about everything. Let's talk about stocks for today. I got some stocks for you guys for today. And let's check volatility one more time. See, volatility is coming back. These are the levels. Here, I'm going to mark this right here. Right here. Right there. See that? 1372. If we break this, this is good for the market. If we don't, it's not. And if you look at the bond market, I'll just use the TLT right now. This is intraday TLT. you want TLT to start breaking above this level, fill in the gap right here. If it starts filling in this gap right here above 89, then it'll be good for the market. But right now, I would be careful and I wouldn't be expecting it. All right, let's put our regular analysis template on and let Uncle Rogers. I'll start with shorts today, okay? So most folks here, you guys understand the difference between the pre-open must watch, the VIP room, and the pit, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. If you have time, can you check Kava? Yeah, if I have time, I'll look at Kava. So ITW, first stock on my short list. And by the way, my short list and my long list have the same number of stocks, give or take. Is this a beer company or a furniture company? I don't remember. Let me see here. Real estate, okay. Furniture, okay. Furniture. CVS, boy, we've talked about this stock a lot. Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll take a look at it, Gaston. Yeah. How many times have I talked about this stock? Oy. And look at that. Hits the 200, breaks down, still hugging the 8-day, and volume is picking up. Talked about this stock at least a dozen times right here. Abbott, right? At least a dozen times. Guild, coming off. Be careful. A lot of healthcare stocks look crappy right now. Zscaler, first time we've ever talked about this stock, right? McDonald's. I remember telling you guys that McDonald's is America, and if McDonald's is selling off, that's not really good. Hey, I still have my this is for the boot camp that we're doing today. So, but anyway, I got my little labels here and everything. All right. VMRN. I'm telling you, if you guys haven't gotten into the boot camp yet, you're missing out. BMRN. How many times have I talked about this stock, folks? How many times? Lulu. Oy, Lulu. We've never talked about Lulu before, right? UNP. The more we talk about the same stocks, the more we're onto something. Look at Union Pacific breaking the 200-day right now. Look at that. Volume is above average, too. Something to look at. Good, David. Good. BYD. All right, that's my short list, and I'm sticking to it. Let's now do the long list. Have you guys been making money on Lulu? Have I been guiding you the right way to Lulu? Lulu. All right, let's do the long list. That is a beautiful stock. That is a beautiful stock. Beautiful stock. CNX. Western Digital. Be careful of this. Tech is down today. Be careful. But what a beautiful stock. Applied Materials is starting to look good. Be careful with tech. Be careful with tech today. Be really careful with tech today. And by the way, all the examples or most of the examples in the boot camp that we'll be doing at 2 p.m. today are from the last 3 months. I didn't go back 100 years. I found stocks that we've been trading, giving you really good examples. That's a beauty right there. Oh, my dogs are going crazy again. NTRA, beautiful stock. Beautiful stock. We've never talked about this stock before, right? Beauty. What a beauty. We talked about it here, 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 and here. IBKR. Hey, I remember talking about this stock before. Look at that. Well, that's a beauty for you. ITRI, what a beauty. And volume is picking up right here. Looking really good. Micron is still on my list. Micron and Applied Materials are on my list. All right. Now, what sector we need to focus on right now? The standout sector, it's XLK, technology sector. We need to see if this sector is going to be able to pick up some bids today or if this is it. If this starts trading below the 8-day MA, there's a good chance it's going to want to test the 50-day moving average. Don't try to pick bottoms and tops today. Let the market show its hand to you, okay? Now, folks, today at today at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I am embarking on an adventure. I spent a lot of time preparing for it. A lot of time, more time than I usually do, like a lot more time than I usually do. Here's the link. If you haven't signed up yet, most people have. Actually, I think everybody has. But if you haven't, there's a link. And join me in my VIP room today as I give you some goodies today. What does that say? Yes, and here's the link. There's the link for the boot camp, and here's the link for the VIP room. So I posted them for you as well. Folks, thank you for being here today. If there's something that I missed, you can email me. If you have a customer service question, please reach out to Cam White and Customer Service Live, big red button in your members area. Please be careful today. It's going to be a tumultuous day. Don't go trying to be a hero. Just take it as it comes and keep your eye on the pit and keep your eye on the free Telegram channel. As you guys know, I will be guiding you every step of the way as I usually am. I look forward to seeing you in the pit today. I look forward to seeing you in the VIP room today. And I look forward to seeing you in my boot camp today. I bid you all farewell, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks, guys. And you should be getting your link around 9 a.m., which is only about 10 minutes from now. Be careful today and don't be a bottom picker. You want to find the most resilient stocks as the market's going down or the fastest gaining stocks as it's going down. It's going to be hard to trade shorts today if the market goes down because we won't have a way to gauge them. Thank you and bye-bye. Love you all, folks. Thank you for the nice words and all the feedback.